to sportsbookreview.com. It's La Liga. It's week 21. It's nice to see Ewan's back with us because obviously Paco and Roman have been absolutely dreadful, Ewan. Martin's going to be with you. But first of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means we will notify you and you'll never miss any content again. Like today, La Liga should be tomorrow, but I wanted to give an extra day for all those people to view big games coming up over the weekend. Real Madrid starting to score goals. Atletico still not losing or dropping points, which is an absolute killer for me. But remember I told you about Valencia. They're not fit. They cannot see the 90 minutes out. They died again after 70 minutes. This week, they take on Elche. If it's tight after 70 minutes in play, get on Elche or make sure you double chance Elche because Valencia have got to do their work in the first 70 minutes. Also, you press the link in the description. That will take you over to articles wrote by either Alex or Tan or Martin. And every single sport that we cover on SBR is also covered by the writers over at SBR Picks. Third guest, make sure you get your tips in there. I don't want no Atletico tips. They get beat this week against Cadiz. Yeah, wishful thinking. Also, we need that two-team parlay because it's been an absolute monster. Martin, tough week last week in La Liga for you.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I had Atletico and under 4.5 goals, which was good. Just trying to remember the rest of my...
Well, Real Madrid killed you. Real Madrid and under 4.5. And
oh, they screwed me over. Real Madrid and under 4.5. That late goal, that got me. Yeah. But still, I've made a lot of money out of Real Madrid and under 4.5 over the last season and a half. I had Sevilla and under 4.5 as well against Cadiz.
Yeah, that was it. You're remembering your winners because we were both on Villarreal and we was both going for Sociedad.
And I had Sociedad. Yeah, they were 2-0 up and I thought it was money in the bag. I actually switched off the game because I was convinced that they'd won. And then I turned on and I said, what is going on here? Capitulation.
But the thing is now, if you bet with Bet365 or you bet with some of the others, you go 2 goals up in a game, they pay you out early. And there's so many times that a team goes up 2-0 and then they don't win the game. Ewan, they say that 2-0 is the worst type of lead if you don't get that third goal.
Yeah, especially if you're Real Sociedad, because right now you could give them a 4-0 lead and you'd still be not quite sure about Real Sociedad because they're just, after that start to the season, they've just absolutely capitulated. But we'll get on to them and their game this weekend, them against Villarreal, the two of those teams going against each other this weekend. But yeah, when teams go 2-0 up, it's you get a little bit complacent sometimes, especially when you're thinking we've got another game in 3 days, which is the case all season this season.
No, listen, I didn't. I had 4 selections. I got rid of Celta, so there became 3 selections, and I went 0-3, which was just an absolute scandal. Let's start with you, Martin, because the second game I'm going to go to you, and it's Valladoilid at +150, draw +215, Huesca +210, and don't worry, I'll do the records after this first game.
Yeah, I don't really like the look of this game too much, Flash. A bit of a battle between 2 relegation candidates. I can see why a lot of people would be betting on Valladolid here. They do look like a slightly superior team on paper, but neither team's in good form. Real Valladolid lost 4-2 last time out to Levante. Very open and exciting game. But, Huesca kind of like to grind out a lot of draws. They only ever really seem to lose by a goal. So I think it's a bit of a clash of styles, and who prevails, I'm not too sure. So I'm going to leave this one alone, but I can see why people would bet on the home team here.
Yeah, not so sure. I think it might be a little bit of a trap, Ewan. I think it's better off we go somewhere else and look for value.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing to keep in mind is that Huesca have got their new coach, Pacheta. He's been in there. This will just be his 3rd game. He's really changed things up. They played with a back 4, quite defensive, negative, but he's got a back 3 now. They're playing a little bit better. Still hasn't got a win yet, but they've had a couple of tricky games and they've looked all right. They've got a point and they narrowly lost to Getafe. So, I think in the weeks to come, might be betting a bit of money on Huesca because they do seem to be playing a bit better under the new coach. But I think it's still too early to really know what we have with Huesca. And Valladoilid, I mean, they've just got so many absences at the moment, but despite that, they've still been doing quite well. They had 11 players out from their last game. They had 11 players out for the game before that, and they got a couple of draws. So in La Liga, that is. So, yeah, they've still been picking up the points. So I think you're dead right. This is a bit of a trap game. And to be honest, it's not exactly the most glamour fixture to kick off the weekend. So maybe this is the one you just avoid and you start the La Liga weekend properly on Saturday.
I was so convinced that Levante would put them to the sword last week. 2-2 on the Friday night. And what made things worse for me was Alcaraz scoring from 30 yards. And honestly, I have a 5-year-old could have saved it. It was like, come on now, anyone but him. And obviously I was on Levante as well. So we're going to put a line through that first game. It's a Friday night, miss it. Wake up Saturday morning, though, and we are ready to go because Ewan, Eibar. No, in fact, we're going to go for the records. I know it's not good reading, but we're going to have a quick look. Martin, plus 0.68. Well done, Mal. La Liga, minus 7.11. Flash, minus 3.81. That's because of all 3 units lost last week. Parlay is just come to put a knife in our back at minus 15.52 because we lost 2 units on 2 different parlays last week because of obviously Levante not winning on Friday night meant we went with Villarreal and another. And Villarreal let us down as well. So total minus 25.76, but plenty time to turn that round. Okay, Ewan. Eibar plus 300, draw plus 230, and Sevilla at plus 110. Now, even if Sevilla are plus 100, minus 105, the way they're playing, all of a sudden, they're looking good. And then Nesri cannot miss.
Yeah, they look so good just now. Lopetegui, 18 months now into that job, and he's got the team playing so well. I don't know if you've seen the second goal from their cup game in midweek against Valencia. You probably have. It went viral, and it looked like they were going to concede in their own penalty area, lose possession there, and let Valencia into it. They played their way out from the back, took their time, created a goal. They're just looking so good. And as you mentioned, NSCV is just on fire. But this is a game that they've struggled in the past. I remember being at this fixture once, and I think Sevilla went down to 9. Eibar even went down to 9 men. They still got a draw or something like that. Sevilla, the last 5 times they've gone away to Eibar, they've only won 1 time. Obviously no fans this time around, so that is a bit different, but I don't think they like going to this Eibar pitch, one of the smaller pitches in La Liga. They don't have much space to pass around. Eibar as well, one of those teams that comes and presses you, but maybe that leaves space for NSCV because there's no team NSCV has scored more against in his career than Eibar. So this is another one that I think, unlike the first game, this is going to be a good one, a good watch, but I'm still not sure what to go for in this one because as much as Sevilla have been great, I just don't know if the value's there in this fixture because they've struggled in it before, and Eibar just stylistically seem to have something that maybe can stop this well-oiled machine that is Sevilla.
Yeah, but the big problem I've got with Eibar is they love that high press. But you get through that high press with the passing that we see from Sevilla over the last few games, then they're going to be bearing down. I'm not complicating this, Martin. I've gone Sevilla plus 110. Thank you very much. Move on.
Great set of odds, isn't it, for Sevilla? The only thing they've been missing so far this season is an out-and-out goal scorer who can finish off the chances. And suddenly one has emerged from within their ranks, which is good timing for them. Should have a good push up the table now. And I think they'll be vastly superior to Eibar in this game. Eibar have the worst home record in La Liga this season. Not working for them without fans inside their little stadium, is it? So feel a bit sorry for them, to be honest. They seem to be picking up enough points to beat the drop, but I don't think they'll be able to keep Sevilla at bay for long in this game. And the odds on an away win just look great. So, yeah, I'm going for it too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. And the big thing about Sevilla and especially Nesri is that I said earlier on in the season that he was second-guessing himself. He was taking a touch, trying to be too careful. Now he's just arriving in the box, no fault whatsoever, and just finishing. And all of a sudden, it happens like that as a goal scorer. You end up taking your chance, and it's almost like an out-of-body experience. By the time that you've pulled the trigger, his ball's in the back of the net, and it's all happened in a flash. When you start taking a touch and being too deliberate, that's when the chance has gone. So let's hope he gets another couple. Sorry about that, Ewan, because obviously Eibar, your team. Next game, Martin, Madrid minus 300, draw plus 500, Levante plus 800. Got to be goals on the card. And Madrid cannot slip up from now until the end of the season.
Yeah, as I say, I've been going with Real Madrid and under 4.5 goals last season and this time around, but I've got to switch it up now. They're playing with a bit more ambition and they're under pressure, but they got a very good result last weekend, and I think they'll keep it up against Levante. Levante are another team that are opening a lot of high-scoring, entertaining games at the moment. So I think they'll allow Real Madrid to have plenty of chances in this game. So, yeah, to mix it up is going to be Real Madrid and over 2.5 goals. Let me just find what were the odds that I had on that?
You sent it to me, though, didn't you?
I did, yeah, I did.
Yeah, so basically we'll see that at the end anyway.
Yeah.
This could be like a 5-2, a 4-2, 4-3, because Levante, they don't stop going forward. They just cannot defend for their lives, Ewan.
Yeah, exactly. I think we'll have goals in this one. As you mentioned, Real Madrid know how to score, Levante know how to score and concede. Real Madrid, as Martin said, this was the one that you'd bet on Real Madrid and you'd bet on under 4.5 or something similar because Courtois was in great form, the defence was looking good, but that hasn't been the case in recent weeks, and they're missing some pieces too. No Ramos probably for this one, no Carvajal still, no Nacho, so I do think Real Madrid's defence won't be at its strongest. You'll probably have Militao playing. He looked a little bit shaky, at fault for that goal they did concede against Alaves last week, so I very much expect Levante to score, but I also very much expect Real Madrid to win. So yeah, maybe Real Madrid to win and both teams to score gets you some value, or Real Madrid and a handicap, because I think Real Madrid, with a free midweek as well, remember that Levante were in Copa del Rey action this midweek, Real Madrid were not. They'll be well rested. But yeah, they've got a few injuries, so I think it'll be a fun one. Real Madrid, a fairly comfortable win. But yeah, I do see Courtois picking the ball at the back of the net at one point.
Yeah, Jack Pancake in the chat saying Real Madrid to win 3-0. Well, I love that. I love the fact that you're going to get massive value because you don't expect Levante to have a duck egg and Madrid to keep a clean sheet. That's almost like I did in Bundesliga last week and got Bayern Munich win to nil at plus 145. Let's move on because Valencia at minus 135. They play for 70 minutes. Draw plus 300. And Elche at plus 500, Ewan. I picked up on Valencia the last few weeks, watched them closely. Honestly, their energy tanks, boom, 70 minutes.
Yeah, this whole season there's been so much value in betting against Valencia because they still have that name, don't they? But throw the name out. This is not a good team, this Valencia team this year. But Elche, this is such an interesting one because Elche, they've not won in any of the past 13 La Liga games. But the last time they did win, it was against Valencia. This is a local derby as well. It's a regional rivalry, and it's one of those rivalries that Elche care about, and Valencia not so much. It's the smaller city and the bigger city. I really like the value for Elche in this one, but even if you're not quite putting all your faith in Elche to go and get the win, like you say, keep an eye on it and maybe go and play, but also just both teams to score in this one, I think, can bring some value because I think Elche can get on the scoreboard in this one. And Valencia, they've only got one centre-back this game, and it's their own fault. They shot themselves in the foot in this one because a few weeks ago, Hugo Guillemon, one of their starting centre-backs, he picked up an injury and he was one yellow card away from the suspension. And as he was going off, he took his time, he messed around, got that yellow card so that he was suspended for the week he was injured. But the Spanish FA saw that, they've added another ban onto it, and now he just happens to be suspended for the week when two of their other centre-backs are injured. So, I mean, don't mess with the football karma gods, I think, is the moral of that story. Now Valencia go into this game with just one centre-back. They'll have to play one of the youth teamers. I think Elche get a goal, and Valencia, I'm sure, will get one too. So both teams to score is what I like in this one.
Yeah, and if you fancy someone's going to get one in the last 20 minutes, then go with the Alex Classic. Maybe even a double chance on Elche. If they go 1-0 down, you'll get a massive price. So there's plenty to be had. You don't get on this Valencia train, Martin. Is there any reason why you would now?
No, I mean, Diakabi's injured, so I assume that the one remaining centre-back is Gabriel, who is possibly the worst centre-back that Arsenal have had over the past decade.
Wow, and they've had some bad ones.
And they've had some bad ones. He's
good now. He's good now.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Arsenal did run rings around him again in Europa League, but yeah, maybe he's found his consistency a bit more. I still shudder at the thought of him. To be honest, it reminds me of Mikhail Silvestre when he joined from Man United. Anyway, that is going to leave the door open certainly for Elche to bang in the goals. They're only 3 points behind Valencia and 2 games in hand, so this is a bit of a relegation 6-pointer, and it's huge odds on Elche. I agree that Valencia aren't a good team. They've still got some very good players, the remnants of a good team that they had last season, and just some random youth players that they've had to throw in alongside them. Not really working. I could see the value maybe in giving Elche a plus handicap, but yeah, I don't like the look of it at all. So I'm leaving this one.
Yeah, my big problem is Valencia having energy in central areas late on. I mean, they got absolutely overrun after dominating. I mean, they should have been up and gone last week. Cost me. Next one. Great game. Probably the best game of the weekend. Villarreal plus 150 mine. Draw plus 225. Sociedad plus 220. Again, not complicated it. I didn't just take the 150. I took the whole arm off. I didn't bite their hand. I took the whole arm. Villarreal for me, plus 150. Was so close to going Villarreal -1.
Yeah, well, as you say, Flash, both of these teams did let us down last weekend, which was very disappointing for different reasons, really. Real Sociedad because their defensive frailties crept back in, and Villarreal because they just couldn't find the breakthrough against a stubborn Huesca side. Really missing Gerard Moreno there. What's going to happen? I think Villarreal will find the back of the net in this one to slightly make amends for drawing a blank last time out. But I'm also very impressed with Real Sociedad at the moment. That was a great couple of goals they scored. Lovely little finish from Oyarzábal. And then they just switched off towards the end. So I'm avoiding the outrights and going for both teams to score in this one. I think that looks like a great bet to me.
Okay, Sam, why don't we get the trap games from Flash anymore? Well, I gave you Man United and I gave you Chelsea this week in the Premier League show. So there's 2 that we went against. Maybe we go against Chelsea again this week with Burnley at plus 800. Ewan, we see Villarreal win this game surely, don't we?
Yeah, we'll see later on, but that's one of my picks for this week is just nice and simple, Villarreal to win this game because Real Sociedad have they started so well. They were, the revelation of the first half of the season or the first quarter of the season. They fell apart really. 1 La Liga win from their past 10, and they're out of the cup as well. They got knocked out in extra time in midweek. Weirdly, they're knocked out of this year's Copa del Rey, but still in last year's. But that's coronavirus things. So they're out of that tournament. They had to go to extra time on their way at Betis, the other side of the country. They played pretty much their strongest lineup in the cup. Villarreal, on the other hand, they rested most of their starters and still managed to scrape through in their cup ties. So I don't think they'll be as tired. They only had to play 90 minutes with some of their backups. Real Sociedad, I reckon, will be quite knackered. And they just don't have the confidence. We're still not sure if David Silva's back. That's such a big thing too. So I just really like Villarreal in this one. But just keeping it simple, just a simple Villarreal home win.
I totally agree with that. Getting plenty chat off the boys. And now, first of all, Rampage, he bet Sheffield United to win Man United. That's only because we told you that Man United were no value. We told you. We sent you there. Also, Rude Boy, you know that Chelsea are not beating anyone. You have 820 passes in a game, but only 17 of them were forward. Sort yourselves out. Okay, Getafe. Oh, come on, Getafe. They've done us so much good, and yet in our records we are negative, but it's not down to Getafe, Ewan. -105, draw plus 240, and Alaves at plus 390. I cannot get Alaves right, but Getafe in this spot, it's just a little bit too short for me.
Yeah, I mean, Getafe have had a weird kind of season. They were so good for the last couple of years, and I think they've really struggled. We've said this right here in this show, but I think they've really struggled with the sort of new normal when there's games every few days because they have the smallest squad in all of La Liga, but they've tried to fix that a little bit in the transfer window. They brought in Kubo, they brought in Carlos Alenia, more so I think for depth than for making them starters, but they have become starters and they're playing well. So they got absolutely thrashed against Athletic the other day, but Atletico are pretty good just now as well. So I don't know. It's a difficult one to predict with Getafe. With Alaves, though, they've got their new coach, Abelardo. His first 3 games, all defeats. Lost 5-0 to a second division side in the Copa del Rey. I just don't really know what the reasoning was there for getting rid of Pablo Machin. I mean, he wasn't doing great, but he wasn't doing bad. Was certainly doing better than Abelardo is. So it's a difficult one here to pick, but I'm certainly not picking Alaves. It's just, like you say, is Getafe, do you trust Getafe enough to go and do the business against Alaves?
And that's another one of these in play, because if Getafe get on top, then it's game over. But they can be, and maybe unders is the way to go, Martin.
Maybe, yeah. It generally is quite a successful bet when Getafe are playing. We've had a bit of a resurgence in previous weeks, and then they've gone and lost 5-1 to Athletic Bilbao, which was a shocking result. I can't be betting on either of these teams, really. One's just lost 5-1 and one's lost 4-1. I think that should set quite a lot of alarm bells ringing. Confidence is going to be low in both camps. I would say that Getafe have got a better team on paper, a better starting 11, but we've said it before, haven't we, about their ageing squad, and the games are coming in thick and fast at the moment. I don't like the look of it at all. Could be a cagey affair. So if I had to play, I would go for unders, but I don't have to, so I'm not going to.
I think it's a slow burner, and if it's going to be a slow burner, then maybe draw at half-time and not care what happens second half. Okay, let's go on to maybe the second or third biggest game of the weekend. It's probably the biggest game in my household. It's Cadiz at plus 900, the mighty Cadiz. Draw plus 310, and Atletico minus 200, Martin. Atletico, they keep rolling. That statue of a striker keeps scoring. It's all going wrong in the Flashman's household.
It's almost like he's trying to show you up, isn't it?
But he only scores from 1 yard after 90 minutes, after doing nothing.
It's like he watches this show and he thinks, I'm going to show that Flashman. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
And I was one of his biggest fans as well at Ajax.
He's going to win the Golden Boot. He's going to win the Golden Boot, and he's going to win the league with Atletico Madrid.
No way is he winning the Golden Boot.
Yep.
They don't score
and he's going to keep scoring from 5 yards out, and it's going to be glorious.
5 yards? Come
on. And they're going to beat, I'm pretty sure they're going to beat Cadiz in this game. This is a team that didn't put up much of a fight in that 3-0 defeat to Sevilla last time out. They were overrun. Sometimes a bit risky betting on Atletico Madrid when they're on the road, because they have in the past drawn quite a lot of games, but they really do seem to have the bit between their teeth right now. And they've got good momentum. I think they're going to win. Again, I'm not convinced by going with unders in this one, and the value isn't really there. So I've gone for Atletico Madrid to win and over 1.5 goals, because I can get good odds on that. And their games recently have been a bit higher scoring than you would normally expect from Atletico Madrid. I think it's actually come in their last 4 league games over 1.5 goals. So I would take a nice 2-0 win for Atletico Madrid in this game. Suarez brace.
Oh, I was enjoying your lecture there. Ewan, give me
Suarez brace. Goal from 1 yard and then one from 12 yards as well, probably.
Well, penalty. Exactly. It shouldn't be a penalty.
Yeah, there's been a few of
Ewan,
those.
Are you buying in that there's a shift now? It used to be Barcelona and it used to be Real. It used to get all the decisions, and now it's Atletico.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just Real Madrid and Barcelona are getting fewer decisions because there's VAR, so you can't give some of the ones that are so blatantly obvious that they used to get. So I think it's just the playing field's been levelled a bit, and at the cost of Barca and Madrid, which is good news for everyone else, apart from people who bet on Madrid to win the league. But apart from that, in this game, I totally agree with Martin in the sense of trying to find where's the value in this one. Just betting on Atletico isn't bringing you much value anymore, and it did used to be Atletico and unders, but with this one, particularly against Cadiz, when Cadiz concede 1 goal, 2 goals early on, they just give up for the afternoon and can often let in quite a few. That's what happened The first time they met when Atletico won 4-0. So the value I've found is Atletico to win to 0, because Cadiz, they just don't score that many goals. When they win, sure, they can score, but there's so many times where they just lose 3-0, 4-0, something like that. So I think the value there is Atletico to win to 0, because Atletico has the best defensive record in La Liga, and Cadiz, even though they're up in 11th place in the table, they've scored the third fewest goals. So I think Atletico to win, and yeah, Cadiz not to score. I mean, when you've got All Black, who could really see it? So that's the way I'm going to find some value in this one.
Wow. And just to give you a word of warning, when we do the 2-team parlay, Atletico don't go in, okay? That's why we've lost 17 times, because the boys want to put Atletico in every week. They win, but I don't put them in. Next game, listen, if you have a little bit of faith in anything that's good in this world, then Granada at plus 185 are gigantic. Draw plus 230, Ewan, and Celta at plus 175. So we know there's no Aspas. We know that Celta don't win no games without Aspas. Yes, they may score, but is this a 2-1 to Granada, bringing in the Alex Classic?
Well, we don't know for sure that there's no Aspas. There's still a slight chance, but probably he's not playing. But we do know there's no Alassa. That's the other big story coming out of Celta Vigo this week. Their left back, one of their best players in my view in the whole team, Lucas Alassa, and they're not going to play him anymore because he's on loan from Boca Juniors, and if he plays any more matches, he triggers some clause that they have to pay. I think it's €4 million for him. So they've decided not to do that, and it's just, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. He's come to the team, played very well, and now they're going to ship him off, I think, to Valladoilid, because they don't want to let him make any more appearances. So Celta Vigo, that just shows you some of the disruption away from the pitch. And you see that in the squad when Aspas doesn't play, and he probably won't play in this one. Maybe this is one of those ones where you check the team news on Sunday morning before you put the bet on. But yeah, Celta Vigo have looked pretty poor when they don't have Aspas. I think Alassa, they'll miss him too. So yeah, Granada, they've been so consistent. You always get a little bit scared of betting on Granada, and I don't know why. They always deliver, or almost always deliver. So yeah, I think this is a pretty simple one. Granada at home to a Celta Vigo side that's a little bit out of form, missing some key guys. Yeah, you got to go for Granada, no?
Yeah, you have. I went to Granada draw no bet last week, and I didn't pull up with that neither. Martin, Granada at plus 185. I'm so close to adding this because Celta we can't have. Can you just push me over the edge just to make sure I go Granada plus 185?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's quite a big price to be putting in a parlay. But
what would draw no bet be? What price would that be?
Bold. I'll have a look for you, Flash. Give me one second. Granada versus Celta Vigo. Right. Draw no bet is it's about minus 105.
Well, there you go. That'll do me. I'm going to add that. I'm definitely going to add that. Now, you tell me if you're going for Granada or Celta. Celta you like when Aspas plays. When he doesn't play, you don't really tend to get involved.
No, but I do think I've seen a few defensive weaknesses from Granada in their games in recent weeks. Obviously, they conceded 3 against Osasuna. They didn't put up much of a fight against Barcelona. I just think they're looking a little bit suspect at the back. Even without Aspas, I still think Celta Vigo might get on the score sheet in this one. Fully expect Celta Vigo to concede. The anecdote that Ewan just delivered for us just shows what a chaotic club it is. And the honeymoon period is well and truly over for El Chacho there. They had a real uptick in results when he came along, and suddenly it's just fizzled out as soon as Aspas has come out of the team. And it's the Celta Vigo that we all know and love again. So I definitely see why you're going with Granada. I'm leaning towards Granada. I do like that Granada draw no bet as well. But the play I gave you was both teams to score, and I'll stand by that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I can see it being 2-1. To Granada against Celta. Now, Barcelona minus 220. I'm going to come to you again, Ewan. Draw plus 450. And Athletic Club at plus 675. Now, Athletic Bilbao have beaten Real Madrid and Barcelona. They're going great guns. They then go and score 5 against Getafe last week. This is not the Bilbao that we were seeing 2 months ago, maybe even 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's Marcelino's Athletic because he's the new coach, and this is going to be his 7th game in charge and his 3rd one against Barcelona. They seem to play every couple of weeks. They played in the league at the start of January. Barca won that one away in Bilbao 3-2. Then, of course, Athletic won that Supercopa final against Barcelona in extra time. And now they play again in the league. This is actually Barcelona have been away from home for the last 7 games, so I think they'll be glad to be back at the Camp Nou. And they've actually been quite good in January, apart from losing that extra time game in the Super Cup. They've been winning all the other games, so I think Barcelona's turned it around. They're at home. Athletic, I think. This is, if they're going to lose one of the games against Barcelona, this is the one that they can probably accept. And yeah, it's just quite interesting. It's like when you see a boxer, a couple of boxers going at it for the second time for a rematch, or the 3rd time even, they start to know each other really well. And I think that always favours a bigger team like Barcelona. They can see what they did wrong last time. They can see what they have to improve. And I think, yeah, I do like Barcelona to keep up their domestic winning run. And I think Atletico happily go back home to Bilbao saying we lost 3 points in the league here, but remember, we've got the Super Cup and we'll remember that for years to come.
Yeah, behave yourself, Baz. Villa Libre. How they even gets in any side, I do not know. Barcelona, do they put these to the sword? Is it a both teams to score? An Alex Classic, maybe? Everything seems to be coming into the conundrum here. Martin?
Yeah, so it's like Barcelona's Tyson Fury and Athletic Club is Deontay Wilder in this one. It's going to get put out on the canvas. I don't like it that much, to be honest. I haven't been betting on Barcelona much this season because they're very inconsistent at the start of the campaign, let me down. I quite like the look of Athletic Bilbao. I think we're going to see a good second half to the season from them since Marcelino came in. Very impressed with them in that Super Cup. I'm definitely going to be considering them seriously in weeks ahead because I think they can pick up some good results. But yeah, I'm not sure at the Camp Nou. Yeah, it could be a win for Barcelona, but we have seen Athletic Club upset them a few times in recent years. So pass.
Okay, just a pass. That's what everyone's doing on the in the chat. 61 of you watching, 60 watching, 25 thumbs up. Come on, sort yourselves out. That's under 50%. Last game, and I was so close to pressing the button thinking this was massive value. It's Betis minus 105, draw plus 255, and Osasuna at plus 355. Now, Osasuna, they play nicely. They move the ball. They score a goal. But as soon as they score a goal, they end up conceding a goal. So are we thinking this is an Alex Classic, Martin, and just don't complicate it?
Could well be. Yeah, it could well be. It generally seems like a pretty classic bet with Real Betis when they're involved because they're dreadful at the back, as most Pellegrini teams seem to be. But they do turn it on going forwards. Nabil Fekir has impressed me in recent games. He's a bit more end product than what I'm normally used to seeing from him. It's Osasuna that would probably give me a bit of concern for a bet like that because they're not the most ambitious side going forwards. They drew a blank. Obviously, it was in the cup, but they drew a blank last time out. Yeah, maybe, but I'm not betting on this one.
You're not going to get involved. Ewan, can you see Osasuna getting something out of the game? Because when I looked at this, I thought Osasuna, they're one of them sides that might just put Betis to the sword on the break, get themselves in front. Then Betis have got to chase the game, and Osasuna may hit them again. And at 355, you're looking at a double chance of plus money.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Osasuna can get a goal. Whether they win, who knows? But the last few Monday night games, it could be a draw. I think both teams to score is something interesting in this one. But the last few Monday night games have produced quite a lot of goals. It's been good fun actually to watch the Monday night ones, unlike the Friday night ones that tend to be a bit more drab. So Osasuna, Betis, both these teams right now without their starting goalkeepers, and it's shown. It's been a few weeks now since they've had their starters. Claudio Bravo's out injured, Ruben Martinez for Osasuna, and the backups are maybe two of the worst backups in the league. Rob Blaze at Betis doesn't convince at all. Sergio Herrera neither with Osasuna. So yeah, maybe weaker defences, weaker goalkeepers. You can see both these teams being a bit more ambitious, because both these teams do need to go and try and get some points. I mean, Osasuna are very much down there in the relegation battle, and Betis, they've had a few good results, but they still are a bit behind for the European race. They need to pick up some points. So I think this will be a good one. I could see them both scoring. In terms of who's to win, I don't know. I just can't see backing on Osasuna. But as you mentioned at the top there, that value is incredible, and they did just pick up a win last time out in the Liga. So maybe you do ride the mini Osasuna bandwagon.
Yeah, but double chance means that I'm happy to, and I pick up with a draw. The Alex Classic is at plus money as well. And the thing is with Betis, I wanted to fade them, and since I started fading them, I think they went 4 or 5 games unbeaten with 4 wins in there. So it is a tricky old game. Now, if we have a look at the official picks, please, Fab. Here we go. Martin's pick, Sevilla at plus 112. Always likes to get the value, the accountant. Real Madrid to win and over 2.5 goals at minus 136. Villarreal, both teams to score minus 110. Granada, both teams to score minus 104. And Atletico Madrid and over 1.5 at minus 110. Real Madrid minus 1, minus 120. Valencia, both teams to score plus 100. Atletico win to nil plus 105. And Villarreal at plus 145. Sevilla plus 110. Villarreal at plus 145. And I'm going Granada, draw no bet, at minus 105. 2-team parlay. You go first, please, Ewan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Granada. I did quite like that one, but you've convinced me even more since I come on. So I think Granada against Celta Vigo, maybe the draw no bet one, but also, this Celta Vigo side I think are very beatable. I'd say let's put Granada in that because it's decent value, and it's more the one of the more one-sided fixtures this weekend.
Yeah, I quite like that Granada draw no bet, minus 105. Martin, who are you going to put in, please?
Yeah, it's hard to go against Sevilla, the form they've been in, coming up against Eibar, plus sort of 110. I've got plus 112 on it. The other one I really would like is at Villarreal, Real Sociedad, both teams to score, because it's paid off in their last 3 meetings.
And what price is that? Both teams to score, Villarreal, Sociedad?
Minus 110.
Minus 110. So, okay, Sevilla or Sociedad? Do we not go with Sevilla? They're probably the hottest side in La Liga with the way they're actually playing and moving.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. We're going Granada, draw no bet at minus 105 at home. And Sevilla away at Eibar. Sorry, Ewan, plus 110. Everyone in the chat, we really appreciate it. Please put the thumbs up. Please. I never say that. Turn it blue, or even put it down if you like. Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we'll notify you, and you'll never miss any content again. So we've got the Premier League show coming up in a few hours. And then on Monday, we've got another Premier League show because we've got midweek card on Tuesday and Wednesday next week. It's just non-stop, day-to-day soccer action. Press the link in the description, take you over to the articles. If you can read, then they'll get parlays, and you'll get single winners, and not just in soccer or football, wherever you are in the world, but there's everything else. And remember, it's the Super Bowl coming up with the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. So there'll be plenty over there on that as well. Ewan, good to see you, mate.
Oh, thanks for having me. Good to see you guys.
Seeing you again soon. Martin, I look forward to seeing you in a couple of hours.
Yeah, very soon, very soon. Got some good Premier League games to go through, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, and obviously we've got Spurs versus Liverpool tonight. And if you wanted to see what our thoughts on that game are, then go back and have a little look. Because I actually had a little chat and I put down week 21 because that's what people thought. Week 21 is actually this weekend. So we will be back on the right road after the show this afternoon. So week 21 will be this afternoon. You take care.